Every single website that I have seen, and I might be missing some, have the Georgia Bulldogs going to the playoff at the very minimum, if not going to the national championship, if not winning the national championship for the third time in a row. I've yet to find a prediction that doesn't think very highly of the Georgia Bulldogs this coming season. Not a lot of people predicted them to go back to back ahead of the season, including myself last summer. I thought I thought they would lose the national championship before anything happened. I thought they'd lose the national championship, before they ever played Oregon, all that. And that wasn't super uncommon. People thought they'd make the playoff this time around. Now that they've seen it twice, now that Georgia's beaten everyone they played in the last 2 years, and they're obviously returning a lot of key players, and people are seeing it and they believe it. Now all the experts, are we really experts? Yeah, we're experts. Everyone in media seems to think Georgia, at the very minimum, is going to the national championship this season. And I kind of agree. I agree. I think they'll make the playoff at the very minimum. I'm not a doubter. Don't call me a doubter. I think that Georgia going to the national championship for a third time around, winning it for a third time around, is realistic. But yeah, it's crazy if you think about it. It's crazy to think about the fact that Georgia could win 3 national championships in a row. But I'm not doubting it. I think it's totally in play. And the closer we get, I'm not forming my real prediction. I don't want to come up with these May predictions. We don't know everything we possibly can yet, right? I'm going to wait until August probably to make a more firm prediction on the season. But let's read it's funny to me. It's just funny to me. And every single website I've seen, 24/7 Action News, I've seen ESPN, I've seen, think of any website you possibly can. Drop one below if you've seen a prediction that doesn't have Georgia in the playoff, because I've yet to see one. What are they saying here? Georgia goes for three-peat, unprecedented in the modern era. I mean, that's what they're saying in all of these things. 24/7. I'm reading Action News. The tables have turned, have they not? Now everyone thinks Georgia's going to win every single year, and until they don't, that's when the brakes will get pumped, I think, as far as the national media goes. Until Georgia loses, that's when the brakes will get pumped. Ryan Curley from DAWGS here, talking about Georgia's national championship odds. And I don't mean Vegas's odds, but let's really talk about this. How crazy is this? Is everyone dumb for thinking the same thing? We'll find out. Links are down below for Dog Struction, Double Dogs. I'm not in Athens. I don't have an office right now. I'll be back tomorrow. So I'm in a parked car looking at my laptop for everybody concerned. The phone's not going to fall today. Let's see. After winning back-to-back college football playoff national championships, the first program to accomplish defeat, Georgia, is considered the number 1 team in just about every top 25 rankings. The outlet predicts that they're talking about Action Network. The outlet predicts that the Bulldogs will make their 7th consecutive New Year's Six Bowl and play Washington in the college football playoff semifinal at the All-State Sugar Bowl. It lists Georgia as a 6-point favorite. So look, another thing that I'm commonly seeing Texas get placed in the top 4. I'm commonly seeing Michigan get placed in the top 4. I'm commonly seeing Ohio State and Alabama get placed in the top 4. I'm seeing a lot of predictions that have 2 Big Tens and 2 SECs in those 4 teams I just named, other than Texas, obviously. This is the last year of the 4 teams. It's the last year of the 4 teams, and it's not. I'm telling you right now, mine would be blown. That means they just ran through everyone. Mine would be blown if this thing ends with 2 SEC teams and 2 Big Ten teams in the college football playoff. That meant that no ACC, no Pac-12, no Big 12, none of those teams were good enough to get there. And cannibalize themselves, essentially, is probably the way that would go down. And I just don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. I don't see Michigan and Ohio State and Georgia and Alabama all being there. And if I'm being honest with you, it looks like it's about to storm. I don't have my raincoat or anything. I'm going to get drenched. If I'm being honest with you, Alabama's the one I'd leave out of that group. And I think that I've been on here saying that for a while, that I don't believe in this coming Alabama team. Look, I could be wrong. I could be really wrong. They've got a lot of talent. I love their freshman class. I love additions like Justice Haynes and Caleb Downs. Obviously, I'm going with Gwinnett County kids right now. But they've got a lot of talented players. I don't believe in the quarterback room very much. I don't really love their receiving room. And two of their three best defensive players gone. I don't know too much about their defensive side of the ball now. I guess Kool-Aid McKinstry is a guy that's getting a lot of hype. Dallas Turner, obviously, both of those guys are getting projected to be top 10 picks. But is this crazy? Is it really crazy for Georgia to win 3 in a row? No, because I think they are probably the most talented team in the country. But we don't know a lot about how their offense is going to run. We just don't. I've seen more than you guys, and I don't know. I don't know yet. I get to watch practice sometimes. I was at G-Day. I've got insider stuff on the scrimmages, but I don't know what this offense is going to look like yet. And it could be better than what it was when Stetson and Monken were here. I doubt it's just going to skyrocket without them, but Georgia should. They're better than everybody on their schedule. I agree that they're going to make the playoff. So my point here is, this is where we're at. Georgia is better than everyone for the most part, and it's been proven true the last 2 years. So if who could step up? I almost feel like I had a very similar video a couple weeks ago. Who's going to step up? Because I don't think it's going to be Alabama. I don't think it's Texas. I know Urban Meyer said that they're the most talented roster, top to bottom. I don't really agree with that. I think that they've got a lot of really good players, but I don't agree with their roster from top to bottom. I couldn't name a single defensive player on their roster. And maybe that's bad on me as a media member. Maybe that's bad on me. But I think that says more about known talent and unknown talent. Obviously, players that we don't know about are going to have a great season this year. But is Texas's roster that great? Were they good last year? Look, I think their season changed when Quinn Ewers got hurt early on. I do. I think that changed the trajectory of their season, and we'll never know what was really going to happen. I think that they could have beaten Alabama in that game if he didn't get hurt, and maybe that changes everything for them. But they're going to have to go to Alabama and play Tuscaloosa at 6 or 7 o'clock at night this season. Georgia's toughest game is at Tennessee. Other than that, I don't think they have a single tough game on their schedule, if I'm being honest with you. And I'll dive into that further. So, Georgia making it to the national championship 3 times in a row? No, it's not crazy. Because I don't think a single ACC team is like that this year. I don't think Clemson is. I don't think I love Drake May as a talent. I don't think that North Carolina is going to be good enough to make the playoffs. Florida State, watch out, but are they? Maybe they could. I could see Florida State making the final, and they may end up being in my preseason prediction for who's going to be that 4th team. But I really don't think I don't think the Big 12 is going to have I don't think the Big 12 is going to have a team this year, right? TCU doing what they did, it's abnormal. I don't think Oklahoma is going to be where they're at, and the other teams just aren't as good. And that's just where we're at. Texas is their best chance, and I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, what about Oregon? What about Washington? What about Colorado? Not Colorado year 1, no way. There's no way, right? That's how I feel about it. I'm not doubting Deion Sanders. I'm not doubting any of their talent. I'm not doubting his son or what he could possibly do with that program. I just don't think you're going to make the playoff in year 1. Year 2, there'll be a 12-team playoff, and Colorado certainly can be one of those 12 teams. I don't think that would be insane to say. But in this 4-team setting, I understand if you stuck with me through the end of this, I understand why everyone's predicting Georgia to win the national championship again. Thanks for watching. Links are down below.